Good morning. We are live for law number 3 in the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, John Maxwell's book. All right, we'll let everyone catch up with the fact that we are live and online. Good morning, Missy. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We got Donna, Missy. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We'll wait for everyone to catch up with the fact that we're online, and then we're going to jump right in. Good morning, Dodie. I'm just getting the podcast stuff set up here. We are live this morning with the Coffee Chat Show, with today's episode of the Coffee Chat Show. Red Betty, good morning. We are covering, good morning, Kim. All right, so we are working with the Coffee Chat Show is now where we're going to work through books with you guys, like a class. We're actually going to do, yay! Kirsten set her alarm. She's live from Palm Springs at 5:30 in the morning for her. Yay, Kirsten. She's a dear friend of Tracy's and mine. She's out in Palm Springs. She lives in Boston, and she said she was going to join us this morning. Set her alarm. Good morning, Dolly, Lynn Marie. Hi, everybody. Okay, Alyssa, nice to see you. Here we go. So, Coffee Chat Show is now like a book club where we're going to work through classes of going through books. And for the next 15 weeks, and this is week number 3, so we have 12 weeks left. We are working through, good morning, Jennifer, Harvey, nice to see you. We are working through John Maxwell's The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. If you want to dig in and go a little bit deeper with us, you can request to join the Warrior Mindset group. It's a private group that's attached to this Facebook page, attached to the Working Warrior Mom, in case we are co-broadcasting with my business page, Revealing Leaders. Good morning, Lisa. So the group Warrior Mindset is attached to the Working Warrior Mom Facebook page. So if you request to join that group all week long, we're asking you questions, we're digging into the material a little bit more, and I am actually going to start doing a special live inside that Facebook group one night a week at probably 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to do a live inside that group just to talk to the couple of hundred people that are in that group that are working through this material, want to work with it a little bit deeper. Hello, Erica, and hello to Erica's mom. Good morning, Janet. We have the old folks with us today. Everybody, my followers from way back. This is good. Everyone's into the book stuff, and this is just a better way for us to really dig in and capture some material. So we're going to start recording. All right, so we are now recording the podcast. Good morning, Priscilla. So, again, for those of you just jumping in, welcome, good morning, welcome to the Coffee Chat Show. We are working with John Maxwell's book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. If you are just joining us now and you want to jump into the study, you have only missed 2. You've only missed the first 2 laws. The book is available on Amazon.com. If you want to be advised of the books that are coming up, if you want to be advised of the schedule of Coffee Chat shows, because we're going to be off like once every 4 or 5 weeks. We're going to take a break to let you catch up if you need to catch up on the chapters that you haven't read and just kind of dig into the material a little bit more. So there'll be like a rolling schedule. If you want to know that schedule, if you want to know what books are going to come up in 2023, jump on our mailing list. Sabrina, Erica, you're Erica's daughter. Okay. I thought Erica was saying she had her mom in the car. Get on the mailing list. Go to thecoffeechatshow.com, click the join the newsletter button, and then you'll be included and you'll get the calendar. We'll also publish the calendar and the books coming up in that Working Warrior Mom Mindset group. We also will probably publish it to the Facebook page just in case attract new people that want to work with, want to work through the books with us. So the first law was the law of intentionality. Growth doesn't just happen. You have to be intentional about your growth. The second law was the law of awareness. You've got to know yourself to grow yourself. And if you want to dig in a little deeper on those first two laws, go back and watch Coffee Chat Show, watch the last two Coffee Chat shows, or you can listen to the audio. So you can do all that by going to thecoffeechatshow.com, thecoffeechatshow.com, and you can find everything that you need there. All right, we're going to jump into law number 3, the law of the mirror. You must see value in yourself to add value to yourself. I'll tell you, there's 4 main points to this chapter, and 2 of them were, we'll call them a great awakening for me. Now, I've been doing self-development, studying spiritual principles, success principles since I was 14. I'm 54. There are still 2 points in this chapter that were very poignant for me. Now, the basic rule and premise of this chapter is this. If you don't believe in yourself, you won't bet on yourself. And you're only going to rise. Hey, my big sister is here, Oceana. You're only going to rise to your own self-image. For those of you that are paying attention and that may, like myself, have been studying for a long time, this is huge. Because wherever you are, whatever you've manifested, whatever you've pulled in, that is what you think about yourself secretly. I have lots of affirmations that I say to myself every single day. I know how the law of attraction works. And yet, still, when nobody's looking and nobody's watching and nobody's listening, how I talk to myself is pretty horrible. I'm just going to be honest. When I'm getting ready for work in the morning, I'm like, the self-talk is awful. Oh my God, you're fat, you're this, you're that. It's terrible. It's terrible. And so when, for those of you that don't know, I'm a member of the John Maxwell team. So for this particular book, I get to actually listen to him. He has taught it live. And if you're a member of his team, you have access to all the materials to teach this book to the public, right? So I've been, I'm doing it week by week. So I'm making sure that it's very fresh in my mind when I'm teaching it to you. Okay, so I'm listening to him, and he's saying this, and he has in his leadership stuff, he has something called the law of the lid, and he's saying that this self-esteem and self-image thing works the same way, which is to say that this is your lid. What you really think about yourself, how you really value yourself, how you really perceive yourself inside your head, in here, that is your lid. That is as high as you're going to be able to go. That is as much as you can manifest. So, unless you have everything that you want around you, monetarily, materialistically, unless you're living in the most beautiful place you want to live, and unless everything in your life is absolutely stunningly perfect, you've got a lid. Whatever you've been able to manifest tells you the level that you're at. Inside your head with what you think about yourself. You cannot rise above your self-image. That's huge. That's one of the biggest pieces of this chapter. You cannot rise above your self-image. So, what do you have to do to improve your self-image? Because I guarantee it's not just me that has a shitty self-talk tape when nobody's watching or listening. I am almost willing to bet that there's a bunch of you that when nobody's listening or looking or watching, what you're saying to yourself inside your head is probably a piece of shit. Honest to God. Honest to God. So one of the, Tracy's just mentioning the challenge that her and I are going to take on, and we'll talk about this in the Facebook group too. John Maxwell says he challenges, this is an application of applying this law to your life, and he says, make a list of all your best personal qualities. Don't stop until you've written 100 positive things about yourself. And when Tracy and I were talking this morning about, me teaching this chapter, I said, I don't even think I can think of 100 things. Like, honest to God, I can think of maybe like 15. That's probably really sad. So I decided this must be a piece of work that I need to do because, holy cow, right? Holy cow. So you have got to start checking yourself on the self-talk and listening to what you're saying to yourself. Not when you're saying your affirmations, because, we're spending, if you've been practicing with me for a long time, if you've been watching Coffee Chat Show for the last, I don't know, I think we've been doing this like 6 or 7 years, then you probably have a list of affirmations that you're working with every day that you change up from time to time. So here's the thing. When you're spending all that time saying the affirmations and reading those affirmations, but then when you're in the bathroom getting ready for work and you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're talking to yourself, or if something doesn't go the way you want it to at work and you start berating yourself in your head and and you start all that shitty conversation inside your head, you're negating all that good work that you're doing, like all those affirmations, and you're raising your level, right? You're saying affirmations, you're feeling positive, you're feeling good about everything, and then you start talking to yourself, and then and then you're saying all these things. At least I am. I'm saying all this shitty stuff to myself in my head, and so this is why it acts as a lid, right? Your self-worth is a lid because you can't go any higher than what you actually think about secretly, what you secretly think about yourself. I say that's a big piece of work for us all to do before the end of the year. And I challenge anyone who's willing to accept the challenge for us to do this. Let's make a list of 100 positive things about ourselves. Yeah. Okay. So there's that. So 4 main points of this chapter, right? The law of the mirror. You have to see value in yourself to add value to yourself. He recommends in this chapter that you come up with a word to describe yourself. I disagree. I say that you come up with a tagline. What is your tagline for yourself? And that's usually like if we were branding you as a product or a service, if I was working with you on your branding for your business, I would say, what is your tagline? What are the 3 words that, the 2 or 3 words that you would like people to use to describe you? So think about that. What are your 2 to 3 words that describe you? If you had to describe yourself to someone in 2 to 3 words, what is that? What is your personal tagline? You have to see value in yourself to add value to yourself. If you don't recognize your own value and your own worth, then you won't think it's worth putting in the time and the discipline to add value to yourself, to get yourself to where you want to go. So, 4 main points of this chapter, like I said. Guarding your self-talk, which is this whole thing that we're just talking about. The other one is adding value to others. We'll come back to that in a second because I did very much like something he said about that. The third one is do the right thing even when it's hard. And the 4th is every day get a win. And I really like that one too. So, question for you. How willing are you to bet on yourself? Something to think about. How willing are you to bet on yourself? Really, really, how willing are you to bet on yourself? He says something interesting about adding value to others, which I have never heard it said in this way. He says that 10% of your time should be used to add value to others. I haven't heard it quite put like that before, and I found that very interesting. So I would task you with looking at that for your life. The idea here is to be a person of value, adding value. So how much of your time every week do you concertedly put in the effort to add value to others? How much of your time is spent doing that? My big sister is saying she spends too much time adding value. She's an amazing spiritual teacher, and we both have trouble with boundaries sometimes. Yes, he said that, Jude. Oceana, he did. He said 10% of your time. I think in his mind, he's, as like the general public, right? Because we add value to, if you're a person of value and you care about other people, you're adding value to your children, your husband, your wife, your partner, your relationships. The way I took that is, adding value to the greater good. That's the way I took it. And which is why, by the way, I'm adding that extra live into the Facebook group at night, one night a week, because I thought about, how else could I add value to you guys? How else could I help you work through this material as a gift? And so I decided to add, that. Doing the right thing even when it's hard. Honestly, if you're a person with ethics, and if you're have integrity, and you're a person that's really working on your life, I feel like, this is almost a no-brainer, right? Do the right thing even when it's hard. Always take the high road. Always do the right thing. The one that really caught me, another one that really caught me on here was every day get a win. For this reason, how many of us, that I recommend highly doing your little glory story at the beginning of every day, like writing down for yourself how you want that day to go, what the day is going to look like. How many of us are deciding what the win is going to be for that day? I know I'm not. So I wonder who else is not. Every day get a win. John Maxwell says in a lot of his work, every day, and I think we talked about this in the first two laws, every day be doing something toward where you want to get to, the goals that you have, the growth plan that you have for your life. Every day be doing something to forward the action of your growth plan. This is a little bit different. Every day get a win. So that would mean in the morning, you would be planning out your day, and you would decide what is going to be my win for today. Go to the gym, read a chapter of a book, volunteer, get a win every day. He says celebrating those small victories of the wins that you get every day helps to elevate your opinion of yourself, helps to elevate your self-image, right? That raises your lid, okay? Up, up, up. So, I think the biggest takeaways from this chapter, guarding your self-talk, huge. We just talked a lot about that at the beginning of this episode. What are you saying to yourself? How are you talking to yourself when nobody's looking and nobody's listening and, nobody's around? What What are you saying? What do you think about yourself? Because what you secretly think about yourself is your lid. That's your cap right now. So if you're out there in the world acting like you have your shit together and portraying that you are confident, knowledgeable, intelligent, but secretly when you go home or you're, by yourself, you think you're worthless or not good enough, and this goes back to past coffee chats where we're talking about the rotting fruit in the fridge conversation, where we're talking about the old conversations that you have about yourself that are buried under everything, that are running you and you don't know that they're there, that shitty stuff that you've been carrying with you your whole life. Listen, we're about to end another year, right? We talk about this stuff every year at the end of the year. What do you want to leave behind? What are you done with? This is all part of that self-image. What do you think about yourself? What are the old, rotting, shitty conversations that are no longer serving you? What are they? You got to dig in and get them out of there. You got to see what they are so you can release them and let them go. Let it go. Be rid of it. Be done with it. That's your lid. All that crap, that's your lid. Whatever your income level is right now, whatever your work situation is right now, whatever your weight situation is right now, that's your lid. That's the level that you got to. If you want to get to a higher level, you have to improve what you're saying to yourself. And you have to believe it. But first you have to even say it to yourself. It'll probably be like you saying to yourself, some more positive self-talk, a more positive talk track inside your head. And, you might have to fake it till you make it for a while. Tracy's asking me to talk about what it means to add value to people. I feel like everyone should have an idea of what that looks like. Adding value to someone is contributing to them, contributing to their life. You could volunteer. You could just have a conversation with someone that's, needing a friend, an ear. Adding value to people is going to look different for everybody. That goes along with what are your personal gifts? How do you contribute to the world? What is your contribution? Are you somebody that helps people clean up? Are you, do you run errands for people? Are you someone that visits people? Do you like to bake things? Do you like to volunteer? Adding value is simply contributing, being a contribution, blessing someone else with something. You could pay someone's toll. You could buy them a cup of coffee. It doesn't have to be like this big formal, I'm going to add value to you now. It doesn't look like that. It's like, oh, I see you're struggling with those grocery bags. Let me get the door for you. Or, shit, you just dropped all that stuff in the parking lot. Let me stop what I'm doing and help you. Right? So, leave a pie on someone's doorstep for Thanksgiving. Call someone and say hi and ask how they are, just because. Don't text, don't email, actually pick up your damn phone, dial a number, and speak to a human. That's adding value. Being concerned with other people. Asking really how people are. And caring and listening. You can simply listen to someone and add value. So many people struggle with this time of year, you guys. Seriously, like this is Thanksgiving's coming up this week. People just like, some people just go off the chain with the holiday stuff. Off the chain, right? Yes, Tracy, hiring the neighborhood boy to mow your lawn adds value to him. Trying to teach Tracy to, to hire somebody to do something for you, like if you can afford to hire someone to clean your house or run errands for you, or, mow your lawn or do your gardening, like you're adding value. You're giving someone else a job. You're giving them an opportunity to show you their value in helping you. Everybody needs help. Everybody needs to be contributed to. People have a hard time at this time of the year. A lot of people do. So if you are somebody that's self-aware and you know enough to catch yourself in reactions and you know how to just be joyful just because you decided to and make it up. I see a lot of my folks on here, a lot of them watching that I've known for a long time. You guys know how to add value. You guys know how to make it up no matter what. You know how to spread joy, spread good cheer, spread gratitude. That's all adding value to people. Being a person that cares about other people and contributes to other people, that's adding value. Stop complaining, criticizing, bitching. See what you can do. See how you can be part of the solution. The more value that you add, the better you feel about yourself, the more you can raise that lid and elevate your self-talk track. Okay? It all works together, right? And if you have moldy old conversations about Thanksgiving or the holiday or Uncle Fred or Aunt Beatrice or whatever, just let that shit go, man. Life is short. Like, honest to God, nobody cares about what happened 5 years ago, 20 years ago. Let it go. Let it go. Just be in the moment. Be present. Add value. Be a person of value, adding value. Christy's saying she can't high-five herself in the mirror. Mel Robbins has this thing about high-fiving yourself. I love Mel Robbins, but that high-five thing, like, not my thing. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go into the mirror and be like, woohoo, hey, high-five. Just not my thing. Love Mel Robbins. Love what she's trying to do there. Love that she's, trying to help people elevate their self-talk track. Totally. But for me, I'm not a high-fiving person anyway. So that's just not my thing. So, Christy, I wouldn't get too down on yourself that you can't high-five yourself in the mirror. Maybe just talking to yourself positively, And, yeah, Oceana winks at herself. Listen, I'm doing good if I'm not berating myself in the mirror, okay? Never mind the high-five or the winking. Like, if I'm not totally destroying myself in the mirror in the morning while I'm getting ready for work, like, I'm doing well. So you just do the best you can, with however you can start to elevate your self-talk and your opinion of yourself. If you are a high-fiver, that's great. Again, I love Mel Robbins. I love that she has, invented something simple for people to try to, improve their self-talk track, which is really what she's trying to do with that high-five thing. So God bless her and kudos to her. I just personally am not a high-fiving person. Like, that's not, I'm not a fist-bumping person. I'm not a high-fiving person. That's just not my style. So that just doesn't feel, that doesn't resonate with me, right? So, whatever resonates with you. If you want to high-five yourself in the mirror, awesome. If that makes you feel better, if it gives you, something that inspires you for the day, that's fabulous. If you fist bump yourself, if you wink at yourself, if you just don't berate yourself, whatever works. Do whatever works. Oceana is saying she's learned to celebrate her imperfections. Listen, we're not perfect. We're never going to be perfect. We were never perfect, you know. Lynn Marie, sending holiday cards to people is absolutely a way to add value. I just recently sent out some Thanksgiving gifts to my closest little network. And I sent 2 gifts. I sent one for them to keep and one for them to give away. And I sent a note that said, this is something new. This is one for you to keep and one for you to give away. So I helped them to add value to somebody by doing that. So I encourage you, you know, if that's something you can do, something you might want to do, that's a cool way to add value, because maybe somebody doesn't have, you know, the means to buy a little gift for someone. But if you gave them a gift and gave them an extra gift to give away, that adds value. Lots of different ways that you can add value. Cards, gifts, stopping by to say hello, calling someone on the phone, whatever it takes. So we're going to wrap this up. Again, this was law number 3, the law of the mirror, which says you must see value in yourself to add value to yourself, which is because you won't do the things to help elevate yourself and grow yourself if you don't see the value in yourself. If you don't think of yourself as a valuable person, you're not going to take the time to add value to yourself. Okay? So you have to feel that you're valuable. And I know a lot of us struggle with this self-worth stuff. So that's your lid. Like, what you think about yourself is your lid, okay? So it's Thanksgiving this week. I encourage you to add value to your friends and family. You can add value by helping people to be in gratitude, to abide in gratitude, to be grateful and joyful and celebratory. You don't really need serious reasons. You can just make it up. So guard your self-talk, add value to others, do the right thing even when it's hard, and every day get yourself a win. So a couple things that I'll leave you with. I would encourage you to join the Warrior Mindset Facebook group if that's something that, if you want to work with this material on a deeper level. I will be adding a special live inside that group during the week on a weeknight. Okay? Go to thecoffeechatshow.com. Join the mailing list to make sure you get the calendar for these classes. Make sure you know what books we're going to work on next. And I just really encourage you to take this next week. Make this list of your positive qualities. 100 qualities that you love about yourself. 100 positive things you have to say about yourself. So I'm challenging you, right? We're challenging ourselves. We're going to work on that in the Working Warrior, in the Warrior Mindset Facebook group. We're going to work on this adding value. And we're going to work on this list for each of us, ourselves, 100 things. I can't even imagine. We're going to do it. All right. The calendars and everything, Dolly, join the mailing list. Go to Tracy, can you drop the newsletter link? If you just go to thecoffeechatshow.com and click to join the newsletter list, you'll get that. We keep circulating the calendar, and Kim keeps dropping it in the private Facebook group as well. Okay, so we will be here next Saturday. We'll be here the Saturday after Thanksgiving. I wish you, from the bottom of my heart, I wish you the most blessed Thanksgiving. I ask you to dig deep, be joyful, be grateful, abide in gratitude, share that with everyone, realize how valuable you are, and look to add value to other people. Have a blessed Thanksgiving with your families and friends. We'll see you next Saturday for law number 4. I'm going to end our podcast and Facebook fam. We'll see you next Saturday. Again, have a blessed Thanksgiving. Make sure you go to thecoffeechatshow.com. Ask to join the Warrior Mindset Facebook group, private, if you want to work more with us in this material. And see you soon.